What's going on, guys? I told you I would come back a little bit later, so here I am. Really, we can talk about whatever you guys want. I'm probably going to make this a member stream after the fact, so if you're here live, this may be the first time you are available to see it, or able to see it, or it's available to you, whatever I meant to say. I did the weekly live chat earlier for about an hour and 45 minutes. If you haven't watched that, be sure to go like it and watch it and enjoy it. We talked about a lot of the same things I put in the title here. I kind of just, kind of threw a title together similar to what I threw in early and used a similar thumbnail, just kind of tweaked it a little bit. But here I am. It is now 11 p.m. Eastern time. I told you guys earlier, I might get on for like an hour later, especially since there was actually a lot of people in the chat earlier. We ended up getting like almost 80 likes on the stream. And so here I am back. Let me actually see how many likes we ended up getting. I don't know. But appreciate you guys. Don't forget to watch my UFC Vegas 66 prediction videos. Yeah, we have 76 likes so far on that one. But don't forget to watch those videos. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you were here for the live chat earlier and now you're back for tonight, I mean, you're basically my biggest fan at this point, So, who was in the majority of the live chat earlier that is back today? That's what I need to know. Who's back tonight for the second time? That's what I need to know. Who's been for both? Who's been here for both? I need to know who the number one fans are, or the number one supporters are. Fans is kind of a weird saying, but that's what I need to know. But as always, guys, like the stream, subscribe to the channel. To me, I can't even fathom that 10 people watch these streams, let alone we get close to 80, 100. Sometimes, I think what was the highest number we got at one point? I think we had 300 or something in a stream one time. Let me go check. I remember what stream it was. It was a random stream, actually. It's my most viewed stream, I believe. No, there was a one championship stream. But then there was also a UFC 280 stream. Let me go look at the analytics for that. Let's see how many people. That's not right. It says peak 176, but we had well over 200 in this stream. So this isn't even right. I think we had like 225 people in a random stream one time. So who knows? Maybe tonight will be that night. But I think we had a one championship stream, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it a Bellator? I can't remember. Now I'm looking. Was it this one maybe? Or maybe it was this one. No, I think it was this one. Yeah, this one said 245. There was one that we had like 300 people in, I think. But I do not remember which one it was. But it was a one championship stream. Maybe it was. Let me check out one more thing, guys. And guys, throw your questions in the chat. I'm going to get to them here in a second. Yeah, that says 160. But these chats have been growing and growing and growing. The fact that we get a bunch of people in here randomly, when I just randomly jump on here, that just goes to show you how much the channel has grown since we first started. What's up, Fries? What's Anthony? What's up, Anthony? What's up, Lil Seal? What's up, Sam? What's up, Bean? What's up, Keep Out? What's up, Jungle Mania? Good morning, Thomas. Jungle Mania says, I'm your biggest fan. I appreciate you. Anthony says he was here earlier. Jungle was here earlier. What's up, Billy? What's going on, Billy? Henry, what's up? Yes, I am back. Hawk says, hey, Joey, did you see what Henry Cejudo said in response to O'Malley asking him to fight a month earlier? I saw something reposted. I didn't actually see what it was, but it was something along the lines of, you should go fight Patty. You should go fight Patty, and the judges wouldn't know who to rob. I saw something along those lines. So, what's up, Fight Life? What's up, James Krause, banned from the sport? Do you think the women's featherweight divisions exist in another year for another year? Maybe, but hopefully not. Hopefully not. It shouldn't exist. It doesn't exist as it is. I mean, it really doesn't exist. It's non-existent right now. So it's a non-existent division. And give me one more second, guys. I meant to tweet this out. going live again. I'm always making videos. I'm always live streaming solely for you guys. So you guys owe me big time for this one. Okay. Live again. Discussing. Live again. Come join me right now. Discussing UFC 282. UFC 282, 283, and much more. By the way, guys, if you don't follow me on Twitter, at MMAJoeyC, go follow me on Twitter. One of my goals for the new year is to get 1,000 followers on Twitter. I would love to do that. Okay. So the women's featherweight division doesn't exist now, so it will not exist in a year. Hey, Joe, what if Figueroa versus Moreno 4 becomes a draw again? Then we're getting a fifth fight. We're getting a fifth fight. What's up, Joey? What's up, Jay-Z? What's up, JJ Smoke? I thought there was one that had 307 on a random stream. I think that was a one FC stream. But there was one UFC 280 that had a big stream, but it was kind of a random 280 stream. It was after the watch along. It was after the post fight. I jumped on at like 11 o'clock that Saturday night. If you remember, the fights were on during the day. And there was like a massive amount of people in there. Rare Henry win. I mean, outside of the champ, there's no rank contenders. There you go. There's no rankings at all. There's no rankings at all. So that's sad. That division has never existed. The UFC has never invested in that division, and it's just a piece of shit. Sup, Joe? What are your thoughts? Hamzat turning down Alex fight at 205. I don't think that even was ever offered. So how does he turn it down? Because it's not offered to him. JJ Smoke with the Chris Curtis emoji. Do you think Raul Rosas Jr. will get pushed slowly despite his popularity? I think he'll get pushed at like a slow to medium pace. Figgy versus Moreno, no contest, 1-1-1-1. That'd be crazy. Do you want some gambling advice? No, I don't. I don't need it. Joe, you told me to buy UFC 281 tickets, and I'll forever appreciate it. I held you down, my friend. Most hated MMA fighter? I don't know. I have no idea. Is Conor the worst double champ? Probably, but I haven't really thought about it. Worst men's, probably. What's next for Yadong Song? He stole a couple rounds from Sandhagen. I think he's underrated. Dude, he actually impressed me in that Sandhagen matchup. I wouldn't mind seeing him against like a Pedro Munoz or something. Wait, is this your second stream today? Yes. Did Conor deserve his first title shot? 50-50. Women's featherweight was screwed since his very first title fight. Agreed. Basically, yeah. Did you see Hamzat confirmed in a Russian interview recently that the Colby fight is 100% happening? We'll see. I think it's 100% happening from his end, but is Colby going to take it? I don't know if he's coming out of witness protection for that. At this point, hold on, let me see something. Yeah, I don't know if Colby's coming out of witness protection. I don't trust that Colby's going to be fighting again. But I hope so. That's the fight that makes sense, to be quite honest. But I did not see that. Thanks for filling me in. I don't think Alex can make 185 anymore. I think he might have to move to 205. We'll see. Joey convinced me to become a member. Let's hear the pitch. I don't have a pitch for you. If you want to support the channel and get a bunch of extra benefits, it is $3 a month. The link is in the description. You'll never even notice $3 a month. But if you don't, you don't. You don't have to. So it's just an extra way to support the channel and get extra benefits. Why do people listen to Brendan Schaub? I don't know. They're brain dead. You know? I couldn't imagine waking up at any point in time or going about my day at any point in time and saying, you know what? I'd really like to hear what Brendan Schaub has to say. Brendan Schaub is one of the stupidest motherfuckers I've ever seen on this fucking earth. But I guess he blends in because the majority of the population is honestly stupid in general. Brendan Schaub, I would love for to see what a kind of IQ test what kind of score would he get on an IQ test. He's not smart. I don't know if he's got something going on in his personal life. From what I've seen, he's disconnected from the MMA landscape in general. Every time I see a clip of him, he's just saying absolutely something ridiculously stupid about MMA, like he doesn't even watch the sport. So I don't even know what to say. I can't believe anyone would watch him. I can't believe anyone would give any credence to any MMA opinion that he would ever have. And he probably thinks the same about me. If he ever saw me, he would probably think I'm an idiot too. So the feeling's mutual, Brendan. But, you know, you can't hate on someone, you know, for no reason. But it's just, I see a lot of dumb stuff that gets regurgitated from him. Luckily, I think the majority of the MMA community don't like him. But the ones that do watch him, like, regurgitate the dumb shit he says. So, I can't answer your question. They like torture. They like torture, that's why. That's why they watch him. If Sean Strickland wins, does he deserve a rematch with Pereira? Absolutely not. Nope. Is double champ in general overrated like GSP fighting Mike? Yeah, everyone that's ever become double champ is tainted, to be quite honest. You know, DC, he has a legitimate claim, but he didn't beat John Jones to get the light heavyweight one. You have Conor McGregor. You know, he never defended, but it was a solid, you know, he won both his titles off legitimate competition. Nunes, I don't know, the bantamweight division is garbage. She did beat Cyborg. So it's one of those things you can kind of pick out all of them, but it is a good feat, nonetheless. You know, I don't want to shit on it too much. But yeah, GSP cherry picking Michael Bisping was an embarrassment to the sport, to be quite honest. Colby is salivating at the thought of fighting Wonderboy. I know. I tweeted that out, if you remember. I don't know if you followed me on Twitter, or I talked about it on stream. Colby Covington is sneaking out of his sneaking out of his sneaking out of his safe house and leaving witness protection to call out 40-year-old Wonderboy Thompson. That's what I said. Yadong Song versus Ilia Topuria. 2 different weight classes. Topuria would win. I think Garbrandt is washed. His chin is shit. I don't think he's washed, but his chin is gone. Do you think Cody Garbrandt is going to get chinned by Julio Arce? I hope not, but probably. What's up, Homework? Damn, remember when Joey was trying not to cuss? Now he's a menace. He does not care. Yeah, well, the thing is, I like to use it when it actually is meaningful. I don't like to just cuss every other word because then it's not meaningful. I like to use it at the right time. So, like, I don't know. You get what I'm trying to say, you know? And if not, fuck you. How about that? Brendan is the type to act tough just for clout. Very true. Chael or Schaub, neither. Please, no. I don't know how Brendan has a decent following. I think it's mostly hate following. I honestly kind of feel bad for him. Because I genuinely believe there's very few that actually like him. And it's actually sad. You know, nobody wants to feel that way. Like, I don't care what people think of me, but I wouldn't be happy if I had an online presence and 90% of it was hate. You know, that can't feel good to anyone. So I kind of do feel bad for him, but he kind of brings a lot of it on himself. Strickland getting knocked out. He's getting TKO'd. I don't think he'll be out cold. Do you think Jorge Masvidal versus Gilbert Burns will ever happen? No. Do you think UFC Africa headline should be John Jones, Francis Ngannou? Not going to happen. Patricio Pitbull was the only good double champ. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration. But if Volk beats Islam, that's straight up insanity. Agreed. I don't know, for me, Stipe lost momentum after DC poked his eye, kind of tarnished it for me, and was KO'd right after the eye poke. Yeah. I don't remember. Dude, imagine Hill knocks Glover out cold and becomes light heavyweight champ, and Pereira beats Adesanya in the rematch and decides to move up to get Glover back in blood. Who would you have, Hill or Pereira at 205? Probably Hill. But it'd be very interesting. Would you watch anime based on the UFC? Absolutely not. I think we'll get to see Yuri versus Glover too after he beats Hill, I could just see him retiring with the belt. I hope not. I hope not. Bryce Mitchell eats the whole eggshell. Can you on live chat? No. Which lightweight from Bellator can you give top 10 UFC lightweight a tough fight run for the money? Pitbull. I forget. I get them mixed up which one it is. I think it's the one that mainly fights at 45. I think he could do all right at 55 in the UFC. So there you go. I guess if you look at the Conor, maybe the best double champ. That may be true. Swear Hill, I thought Pereira would KO Hill cold in round 2. Easy work. It'd be interesting. Thoughts on UFC NFTs? Scam. It'll be gone in a year or two. That's just a straight up scam. Don't you ever... If you buy or have bought or you've thought about buying a UFC NFT, get the hell out of here. Just leave. I don't want anything to do with you. You're an embarrassment. I mean, that is a straight up scam. Who would buy a UFC NFT? I mean, that's a straight up embarrassment, honestly. I would be ashamed. If I had a 16-year-old son and he's like, Dad, buy me this UFC NFT, I'd punch him square in the teeth. Would Derek Lewis be any good at power slap? No. Do you think Conor beats Tony Ferguson? Yes. Destroys him. Which UFC has the best light skin stare? I don't even know what that means. You been to any UFC fights or boxing? Anyone? Oh, you're talking to everyone? I've been to 172, Jones Glover. I've been to 244, Masvidal Diaz, and I've been to UFC DC, which was Rosenstrike versus Overeem. Do you agree with Armin that Dustin, Justin, and Chandler need to get out of the rankings because all they do is fight each other and no one else? Yes, I do. It's getting quite annoying. Imagine someone buys UFC NFTs, makes them think they're hardcore. Dude, imagine hanging out with someone and they're like, hey man, check this out. I mean, imagine someone just showing that off to you. I bought a UFC NFT. Like, fucking loser. Which comebacks are you looking forward to more? Conor or Jones? Definitely Jones. UFC doesn't even promote their NFTs anymore. I don't know if they do or don't. I'd tune it out. Can any of the heavyweight Bellator non-UFC fighters who transition to Bellator give Francis a tough fight? No. Hey Joey, what's up? You would punch your own child. If they bought in UFC NFTs, yes, they deserve it. Mario, thank you for the $20 super chat, the $20 holla. You hyped for the last card of the year or nah? And you think making content will be difficult with like 3 weeks of no UFC? I don't think it'll be difficult at all. I'll find stuff. I'm not going to force anything. I'm going to relax a little bit, maybe dial it back a hair, but I'm definitely going to be making like top 5 fights of the year, top 5 finishes of the year, champions at the end of 2023, stuff like that. I'm just straight up disturbed. Stuff like that. And there'll be news that's coming out. There'll be a bunch of stuff that's coming out that I'll be able to make videos on. I'm not going to force anything. I'm not going to be looking for clickbait. I'll probably get an early jump on some predictions, I think. I am, as far as hyped, as far as being hyped for the last card of the year, yes, I am hyped for the last card of the year. It's a very stacked card. Let me actually look it up real quick, and we can discuss it a little bit. The last card of the year is a good fight night card. Even though it's at the Apex, it is a great card. We have Jarrett Cannonier, Sean Strickland, main event. Good middleweight fight. Arman Tsarukyan and Demir Ismagulov, favorite fight on the card. Amir Albazi versus Alessandro Costa. Great fight. I'd like to see Amir Albazi. I'm looking forward to it. I really wanted to see him versus Brandon Royval. That didn't happen. Alex Caceres, Julian Erosa, banger fight. Drew Dober, Bobby Green, great fight. Cody Brundage, Michael, I can't pronounce his last name. That's a solid fight. The fight I'm really looking forward to, Saeed Nurmagomedov, Sedyukub Kakhramonov, is a great fight. This is a really, really solid fight night card. You should watch every single fight on this card. Okay, you guys know I shit on a card when a card's awful, but this card is amazing. This card is absolutely amazing. So you should watch this Saturday's fight night card. I'm really looking forward to it. I wish I would have done more predictions. I just didn't have time, honestly. But this is a really, 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 really good card, quite honestly. Said Nurmagomedov versus Sadyukub Kakhramonov shouldn't be on the prelims. That should be on the main card. Jake Matthews, Matt Semmelsbergers is a solid fight. Jake Matthews looked like an elite level welterweight in his last fight against Andre Fialho. Alex Caceres, Julian Erosa should be a great fight. Could be fight of the night. Amir Albazi is a flyweight prospect right now. Looking forward to seeing him fight. Wish he was fighting Brandon Royval, as I said before. Manel Kopp is on this card versus David Dvorak. Brian Battle is on this card. I forgot how to pronounce his name, but Machete, I think is how you pronounce it, is on this card. He has one name. He's 9-1. He's fighting Rafa Garcia. That's a solid fight as well. So really, 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 really good card. So don't miss this card. Highly recommend it. You guys know I'm always honest with you if I think a card's shit. So again, thank you, Mario, for the $20 super chat. I greatly appreciate you. It means a lot, man. You're willing to donate your hard-earned money to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Mario. Shout out to Mario. And he's a member, too. $20 is a lot of money. I appreciate it. I'm going to go buy a UFC NFT. If anybody else wants to donate money so I can go buy UFC NFTs and Venom gear, send it in the chat right now. Hurry up, quick. What about a Bored Ape NFT? No, that's hilarious. I'm 16 and I bought a Nate Diaz NFT. Stop it. If Sarukian loses, what's next for him? Whew. I don't know. Because he's so tough. Nobody's coming up going to want to fight him. But I guess he's going to be gatekeeper for the top 15. Would you play UFC-themed Dungeons & Dragons? No. Have you ever met fighters? I met Chris Weidman, Cowboy Cerrone before. Why do NFTs get so much more hate than something like trading cards? I don't know, because it's stupid. Top prospects for 2023. That might be another video idea. Bro, Beard Games got to grow those cheeks. Don't ever say that again. Don't ever say that again. Don't ever say, bro, you got to grow them cheeks. Pause. If Kamaru is off from the rematch, that's not true. Will Dominic Reyes ever bounce back to a title fight? Absolutely not. Prospect who will make the most waves in 2023. Topuria, Fiziev, Shavkat. Fiziev for sure. You don't like the UFC Apex? Usually the Apex Fight Night cards are garbage. Off the top of your head, who was the most recent win? Darren Till, Connor, or Cody Garbrandt, or Cejudo? Okay, off the top of my head, Darren Till's last win was in November 2019. Connor's last win was in January of 2020. Cody Garbrandt's last win was in July of 2020, or June of 2020, or maybe even May of 2020. And Cejudo's last win was his last fight. It's Cody Garbrandt. Cejudo's last win was his last fight against Dominic Cruz, which was on 249. And I believe Cody Garbrandt was on 250. So Cody Garbrandt has the most recent win. Boom. Let me know if I'm right. I'm 90% sure I'm right. Because Darren Till, last win, 244. Connor's last win was against Cowboy. Cody Garbrandt's last win was against Rafa Assunção. And that was on the card after the last card that Cejudo fought on, I believe. Meet any fighters? Let me know if I'm right, by the way. Let me know if I'm right. Did you see Izzy as a future world champ when he was coming up? Yes, I did. I remember talking about it, telling one of my buddies before he fought Brunson, I thought he was going to be a future champ. Yo, I thought you were always shitting on cards, but Dana White is just on another level. Shout out to you. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Elaborate. I told you, I'm always honest with you. Nobody picked potentially Hill to be lightweight champ by the end of 2022. Well, he can't be. By the end of 2022, he can't be because he's not fighting until 2023. Does your Xbox avatar wear Venom gear? Of course. Chill brother, just helping. Do you think Ilya will be champ by next year? No, but he might get a title shot. How would Khamzat versus Shavkat go? I think Shavkat would get out grappled probably, but it'd be a fun fight to watch. I would absolutely love watching that one. Should Reyes move to middleweight? I don't know if he can. To be honest. But if he can, then yes. But I don't know if he can. Jeff Neal's about to KO Shavkat round 2. I'm calling it. We'll see. Who invented shoulder strikes? Conor McGregor invented shoulder strikes in his fight against Cowboy Cerrone. Are you going to answer my question? Was I right? Was it Cody Garbrandt? Was it Cody Garbrandt with the most recent win? Guys, do me a favor. If you have not already, like this stream. Scroll down and like this stream. If you're watching right now and you're not subscribed, go subscribe to the channel. I do these streams all the time. So if you're watching it now and you're enjoying it now, why would you not want to watch it in the future? So, but guys, do me a favor. How do we have 70 people in here? We only have 20 likes. So run up the likes. I would greatly appreciate it. And I know there's somebody out there that's like, I ain't doing that shit. Well, then you can go to hell. How about that one? Man, I would really think it'd be crazy if Neil beat Shavkat. Agreed. I thought Francis was supposed to announce what's next for him after 282. He said, I don't know. I didn't see that. So I don't know what you mean. He's going to be fighting in March against John Jones. Do you see Volk retiring before being matched up with Ilya? No. Most of the times you don't like a card, and I expected frustration from you, but Dana White just shat on that card on another level. I thought you really disliked the 282 main event. I didn't think it was terrible. No, I didn't think it was terrible. But I thought Dana was ridiculous. Reyes should move to a retirement home. Yeah, Reyes needs to do something about that chin. What's next for Bryce Mitchell? Can he ever be champ? He will never be champion. He's gonna have to fight someone behind him in the rankings. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone. What's up, Joey? How would Hamzat do against Cannonier? I think he'd outgrapple Cannonier. Hey, got here a little late. How's your day? My day is good, doing well. How are you doing, Air Mamba? Joey, if EA paid you, no, I'm not taking no money from EA Sports. Nope. I hate EA Sports with a burning passion. Gilbert Magny, am I the minority here that I don't give two fucks about Gilbert versus Magny? The fight has no stakes. I'm kind of with you on that one. I think I mentioned it earlier. When I hear that, when I hear Gilbert Burns versus Neil Magny, instead of getting excited, all I do is think about Neil Magny's hairline, and I just don't want to look at that. I just don't want to see it. I can't look at Neil Magny's terrible hairline. And like that fight doesn't even make sense. So, I mean, Gilbert's way better than Neil Magny in my opinion. So I have no desire to see that. And it's a shit matchup, honestly. And Neil Magny is just, I mean, that hairline just needs to go somewhere else. I can't look at it anymore. Is Hamza a top 5 fighter in UFC right now? Maybe. Joey, I'm listening, waiting for my, I don't know what that means. Who does Jarrett Gordon fight next? No idea. No clue. He probably wants that Patty rematch. I wonder if they almost booked that. They may book that rematch because that would be a big rematch. Where was I? Dana was a little angry schoolgirl after 282 because he was coping with the fact that his new cash cow just got exposed. Dude, he was pissed and he was saying shit off the wall. Shitting on the main event, saying Darren Till's stock went up, which is the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. Saying that so-and-so shouldn't have coasted in the third round when Patty's the real one that coasted in the third round. I mean, it's just downright delusional. Downright delusional. Do you know about the upcoming bantamweight prospect? No, I do not. I've never heard of it. I'm not saying that name because it sounds like you're trying to get me to say something. And you know what I do to people that do that type of shit? Ban. Burns versus Magny does have stakes. Burns just needs to defend his top spot. It doesn't really have stakes. Just like and subscribe. Thank you, Jim. How would Neil do at 180 in top 10 middleweights? He would not beat anybody at top middleweights. Always commenting on his hair. Dude, it's atrocious. I don't know what he's doing. But I feel bad for that. I really shouldn't. Was Patty versus Jarrett robbery of the year? Without a doubt. It was robbery of the century, honestly, at this point. I mean, it was robbery of the decade. Let me put it that way. I think it was worse. It's probably one of the worst robberies that I've seen since Diego Sanchez, Ross Pearson. I picked Neil Magny to beat Shavkat by decision. That was a terrible pick. I think Raul changed Dana's mind about what? Is it better to sit in the 15th, 20th row, 100 level, or the front row, 200 level at fights in general? I would say either's fine. I like the first elevation is what I like. Okay, it's from Anchorman. I just know there's some people that's trying to get me to say really off the wall shit. And I hate that, trying to get me to say the M word and stuff, or, just stuff like that. That's why I did not. But thank you for the $2 super chat. That's why I didn't, because I wasn't 100% sure on that one. Unless I'm absolutely positive, I don't do it. So, appreciate the super chat, though, for clarity. Appreciate the super chat for clarity, my friend. Is Paddy even a cash cow? I mean, he's popular, but the headline of Fight Night, I think he would do just as well as all the others. I think it remains to be seen. I think UFC 282 did terrible as far as sales, and I think Dana was pissed about that. I think Saturday night did awful as far as pay-per-views, and they probably needed some mark to maybe hit some quota for ESPN Plus. And Paddy just ain't bringing in. I know he wasn't the main event, but still, I don't think he's the draw people think he is. He's not drawing in pay-per-views. Aljo versus Cejudo, who wins? I'm going Cejudo all day. What's up with Raul Rosas Jr.? Like, from an honest point of view, I think he's very promising, and he's still very, very young. I think Raul Rosas Jr. has a significantly higher potential than I would think that Paddy Pimblett has at this point in his career. Do you know you deserve more subscribers, man? I'll get them eventually. Next year is coming. We're hitting 10K next year. So we're hitting 10K next year. I'm super pumped for that. Before my 2-year anniversary, we will hit 10K. And that's going to be really amazing. I cannot wait. The 10K is going to be surreal. So, and I'm hoping by the end of next year, I'm thinking we're going to get close to 20K by the end of next year. I think we can do that. This year, we timed my subscriber count by about 3 or 4. So if I can do the same thing next year, let's say I times my subscriber count by 4, that'd be 28,000. So I think a safe bet would be to times it by 3, and I'm about 7,000. That'd be 21,000 subscribers by the end of next year. Obviously, that's all speculation, but I think at the end of 2023, I will hit 20,000 subscribers. Which, if you guys have been following the channel, we've just been grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding. But thank you, Salim. Raul Rosas Jr., his face, I meant, what's up with his face? I don't know, bad genetics. I don't know. Ariel ripped Paddy the Baddy, or Paddy and Gordon decision would have done the same if he didn't have beef with Ariel. Yeah, I mean, it deserves to be ripped. It was a god-awful decision. UFC 282 had to be bottom 5 of the year, I would say. Honestly, think if Paddy was skilled, he could be massive. Yeah, he would be huge. He would be a huge pay-per-view draw, but he can't win consistently. I mean, unless he's fighting garbage cans, he's not going to win. Raul will be the new cash cow. I think Raul, if he can continue to win, he said he's ready to fight for the belt tomorrow. Jay Perrin let me down too many times. Smoked in round 1 after all that trash talk, shaking my head. That is unfortunate. Did you see Aljo said about Rosas Jr.? I think he had a problem with him because Rosa's dad recorded Rosa sparring hard against Aljo when Aljo thought it was a light session. I did see that on Twitter. Yes, I did. I mean, he's a kid. He probably doesn't know any better. His dad probably didn't know any better. I think instead of airing it out years after the fact or whenever it happened, he probably should have just addressed it with him instead of being a little bitch. But maybe he's just setting up a storyline for a future fight. Raul has almost 10 years till he reaches his prime years. I'll be surprised if he didn't make some noise throughout his career. Agreed. Who has potential to traverse the furthest in their career, Paddy or Neil Magny's hairline? Neil Magny's hairline for sure. Turner versus Kutateladze. Who do you got? That's a tough fight to pick. I might go Kutateladze. But I might go Jalen Turner by guillotine. That's a 50-50 fight. Billy, thank you for the 4 months of membership. Who would you pick? Would you pick Craig over Hill in a rematch? Probably not. Probably not. He got pulled guard. Hill got, I think Hill would be much more careful in a rematch. So I'd go Hill. Do you think it's smart for fighters to get represented by an agent and negotiate themselves, such as Tony Ferguson or Sean O'Malley? I think it depends on your mindset. I would say probably get an agent, but you got to find the right agent. Do you think Ariel would have still ripped the decision? He would have talked about it, but he wouldn't have ripped it as badly, I think. Do you want to see Roman Dolidze versus Andre Muniz? Yes, that'd be a fun fight. Thoughts on Paddy being a favorite over Gordon in a rematch? Ridiculous. I mean, I'd pick Jared Gordon in a rematch. I can't imagine not picking Jared Gordon in a rematch. That first fight was straight up 30-27 Jared Gordon. Thoughts? No, Raul gets bullied still when he's at school because of how he looks. Well, that's unfortunate. I want to see Helwani versus Shab. I don't know what you want to see exactly. You think Raul or Mokaev will be a bigger star if they meet the top 10 of their divisions? I think Raul will be. If Colby refuses to fight Hamzat, take his 2 ranking away. Same applies for Gaethje. Agreed 100%. I am tired of these guys holding their rankings hostage. I am tired. Why does everyone care that Justin and Kamaru hung out with the leader of Dagestan? I'm pretty politically clueless. It's not the leader of Dagestan. I think it's the leader of Chechnya, but don't quote me on that. And basically, he's a warlord with basically a bunch of, humanitarian issues that goes on in his country. Like, he's basically been proven to commit a lot of atrocities and human rights issues over in his country. And that's basically the problem. Like, there's evidence, there's clear-cut evidence. From what I understand, haven't looked into it deeply enough, but apparently there's clear-cut evidence of him doing a lot of, like, human rights shit. And, I think that's basically, you shouldn't be hanging out with that guy. Essentially, that's why. If Colby, why does everyone care? Okay. Who do you realistically see in Paddy beating in lightweight division? I seriously can't think of one. I can't think of one either. He might be able to beat Tony Ferguson in another 5 years. What's next for Sandhagen? I want to see him fight Dominic Cruz. Thoughts on Paddy hand sanitizer joke? It's not even funny. It's not even funny. UFC 168 main event. Anderson Silva, Chris Weidman 2. Boom, baby. You were going to gain a lot of subs in 2023 because of all the big fights? Exactly. Matador versus Holloway? I don't want to see potentially Topuria killed off by Holloway, to be honest. So, Jarrett Gordon should call himself Jarrett the Commissioner Gordon. Okay. It's fights like Demir versus Arman that remind me of lightweights will be forever the best division in MMA. Shout out to 135. I think they're number 2. I think 135 is number 1, though. If Leon Edwards wins, do you think Usman will retire? Probably, but maybe not. I'm picking Strickland TKO Cannonier in round 5. Fair enough. Before people think Paddy will be champ, they got to ask themselves if he'll ever be top 15. I don't think anyone thinks he'll be top 15. Do you want to see Charles versus Dariush next or Dustin versus Dariush? I like either one of those matchups. He can't let me down. I also picked him to beat Pereira by decision back at 276. Well, it looks like you have an issue picking fights with Sean Strickland in them. So I'm usually pretty good. I'm usually pretty good at picking Sean Strickland fights. I picked him over Hermanson, I believe. So I wouldn't be surprised if Ali Abdelaziz pressured Justin into hanging out with that warlord. Probably. Paddy could beat Joe Lozon or Vince Pichel. I don't think he's beaten Vince Pichel. And I don't think he's beaten Joe Lozon, to be honest. I really don't. And I'm being dead serious, too. How would Hooker versus Dober go and Hooker versus Bobby Green go? I think Hooker wins both of those. I think he's a superior striker to both those guys. I wonder if UFC's trying to get Tony brutally knocked out one more time, then hope Paddy can beat him. Probably. I live in San Antonio, and the UFC's coming here in March. I'm so hyped to go to my first event. I hope they have an amazing card. Would think Paddy would fight a top 15 fighter. When does UFC go 4-0 in the company and still not fight? I mean, it's happened for sure, I think. But they'll keep feeding him trash cans for a while. I'm going to San Antonio, too. I hope you have a good time, Steve. Joey, thoughts on Nick saying he wants Izzy? Delusional, brain-dead CTE. I thought Topuria gets like another top 10 fight against someone good before fighting a top 5. I want to see him against like Arnold Allen, to be honest. Do you think the main event this weekend will be boring? No. Does Tai Tuivasa peak, or is it the best yet? He's peaked. He's peaked. I love his energy. Okay. Grant Dawson versus Paddy. What happened? Grant Dawson would ragdoll him. Grant Dawson would make Paddy Pimblett his bitch. I'll tell you that much right now. Dober versus Paddy. Dober would probably brutally finish him in the first round. What's a good 3-fight guaranteed parlay this weekend? I don't know, man. I like Michael Oshachek. I think is how you pronounce his name. I like him. I like Jake Matthews and Amir Albazi. So Amir Albazi, Michael Oshachek, and Jake Matthews is what I would go with if I picked 3 locks. If I picked 3 locks, that's what I would probably go with. Let's see. Would you rather? Let me actually see something real quick. Let me see what that would be. Just out of curiosity. Sheer curiosity. Oh my god, it's taking forever to log in. So you could go with Manel Kopp, Jake Matthews, and Michael Oshachek. I think that'd be a good one too. And that's plus 158. So you could go with that as well. Okay, where are we at? Would you rather see Charles Oliveira versus Dariush or Dariush versus Dustin Poirier? Do you think Conor will come back and fight Michael Chandler? Charles Oliveira versus Dariush or Dariush. I want Dariush versus Dustin Poirier, and I want to see Conor versus Chandler. Book Mickey Gall versus Patty until the same night. I think Mickey beats both of them, which is hilarious. Agreed. Why doesn't UFC ever come to Miami? I feel like the Heat Arena. I have no clue on that one. Who wins between Green and Turner? Turner. Will it be a good return fight for Weidman? I don't even know, my friend. He's going to need someone that's been brutal. Till would be a good return fight. Hey, Joe, do you think Holloway will be able to perform at the same level as before, even though Volks? Yes. But obviously he's going to be slightly diminished. I mean, he got an ass whooping in his last fight. Cowboy retired at the right time. The UFC would have forced him to fight Patty. That is true. Thoughts on Mitchell having the flu? Don't give a flying fuck. Don't care. Topuria or Ortega if they fight. Topuria. I'm a big believer in Ilia Topuria. I've been saying it since I started the channel, basically. Topuria. Who do you want to see Michael Johnson fight next? Maybe Bobby Green if he loses to Drew Dober. Cowboy would brutally KO Patty Pimblett? Probably. Thanks, sir. No problem. Who do you think Michael Chandler fights if McGregor versus him does not come to terms? He better fight like maybe Arman if he wins or something along those lines, an up-and-coming guy. Topuria might be the first person to finish Ortega. I would like his chances against Ortega. I think that's why he called him out. I think Topuria is very smart as well. In my opinion, if Raul becomes the youngest UFC champion, it would be much more impressive than Jones since competition and weight class difference. Okay. Hey, Joe, I'm the biggest Islam Makhachev fan. Why does anyone notice that Dariush is the only one that could have had a chance? MMA media don't give him attention. I don't know why. I don't know. But I think Islam beats Beneil as well. How many times a year does the UFC come to NYC? I believe usually once, maybe twice. Sometimes they go in April and then November. Till versus Weidman sounds like a PFL fight. Agreed. Did you hear that Nick Diaz wants to come? Yes, I did. It's awful. I would pick Topuria to KO Ortega in the 4th if it's a 5-rounder, a 3rd, then Topuria by decision. Okay? Is it true Tracy Cortez pulled out because she's pregnant? I believe that to be the case, but there's no confirmation on that. She just pulled out and then never said why. And said it was personal reasons. So I think she found out she was in the pre-fight screening. Joey, did you ever pick against Khabib in a fight ever? I don't think so. But I may have. Let me take a look. You know, as many fights as I remember. So, I picked Khabib versus Justin Gaethje. I picked Khabib versus Dawson. I picked Khabib versus Conor. I picked Khabib versus Ali Quinta. Yeah, I don't... As far as I remember picking fights, I mean, the only fight maybe I could have picked against him was Rafael Dos Anjos. I don't remember ever picking against him. That's getting all the way back to 2014. So, no, I never picked against Khabib. And I was never wrong. I wish I had a YouTube channel. I predicted 4th round rear naked choke for Khabib. Kind of correct, even though it was slightly a neck crank. And I said Khabib would just maul him and then eventually submit him. So I would have had a godly prediction for that. And I was confident, too. I was like 100% sure Khabib was going to maul Conor. So I wish I had a YouTube channel back then. You said you didn't want Holloway to destroy him? No, I said I don't want Holloway to potentially end a contender. I think Ilia can win, But I don't want someone fighting Ilya that if he beats him, he can go nowhere. What's the point of having Max potentially destroy him and then ruin a contender? Not to say that would definitely happen, but why do that when you can do something else? Michael Johnson, Michael Johnson would KO Paddy Pimblett. At least Mitchell's girlfriend's hot. She must believe the earth is flat too. Okay. Michael Johnson beheads Paddy. Agreed. You should make your video top 5 GOAT list, maybe. Who do you think is the toughest matchup for Islam in the lightweight division? Probably Arman Tsarukyan, Beneil Dariush. Probably Beneil. Or Arman. Or maybe even Jalen Turner. I could see him maybe getting a submission. I don't know. Dana versus Tito, that's the fight I want to see. Nick Diaz wants to fight Izzy. Delusional. Ortega got her pregnant. I don't know. Maybe somebody else did. Damn, April, no way. NYC, I'm going to have to go for sure. It's not always, but they do sometimes. They do sometimes. That's not a guarantee by any means. Could Topuria be the first person to finish Max Holloway? He's been finished before, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he's been finished before by Dustin Poirier. At featherweight. I'm pretty sure he's been submitted before. He got submitted once. By Dustin Poirier. Arm triangle. Way back when. Do you think Dana White enjoys going to the events every Saturday? Do you think he's sick of it making millions, but he keeps doing it? There's no way he loves all the traveling. I think he probably secretly hates it. Did you hear Tatiana Suarez is aiming? Dude, she's always injured. I can't even ever count on her ever coming back ever. Johnson will lose to Paddy. You guys have not picked it. No. Who's the best 145er of all time? It's probably Volk at this point. Islam, Robert Whitaker, Jarrett, Brandon right now, solid picks? Yes. Islam already beat Arman Tsarukyan. It was Arman's debut, and it was short notice, if I remember correctly. Holy shit, Topuria is only 25. Imagine how good he is at 28-30. Exactly. I remember feeling confident for the first time ever that someone was going to beat Conor, and that was the Khabib fight. I felt like the diehard fans knew Conor Mania was over. There you go. I mean, I was super confident. I was super confident that he was going to lose. Finished by strikes, he means? Okay. Then yes, maybe. Yeah, no point in Max fighting anyone like Ilya and Allen would just wait fresh blood. Max is in a tough spot. At least Colby and Rob were saved from the fate. Max should do fun fights in the meantime. Yeah. Did you pick Max over Aldo in the first fight? No, I did not. I picked Aldo. I'm pretty sure. That's what intrigues me so much about a potential Holloway Topuria fight. I could see Ilya being the first one to flatline KO Max. It could happen, but I could also see Max drowning him in the later rounds. Featherweight needs more wrestlers, which is why someone like Topuria is exciting in the division. Okay? What chances do you give Volk to KO Islam? Less than 10%. Yo, you stay on point with the interactions chat, fam. Okay, appreciate you. Man, I like Moreno more if he didn't make those stupid faces every time the camera is pointed his way. Okay. I would still put Aldo over Volk as a 145 GOAT. I mean, it's debatable, for sure. It's debatable for sure. Would you be as confident if Khabib was fighting Conor coming straight out of the Eddie fight? Probably a little bit less confident, but still very confident. What's up, Brendan? I hope you were doing well. Thank you for being a member. Thank you. I appreciate your support. I know you've been enjoying the Discord. At least I hope you have. I think we talked about that yesterday, honestly, or Monday. Do you think Alex Volkanovski loses to Makhachev? Yes. It does not ruin his legacy. Doesn't mean anything to his legacy. Who's the best bantamweight of all time? I'll say Dominic Cruz. Paddy versus Sean O'Malley, who wins? It's probably going to be a draw because the judges don't know who to rob to steal a Henry Cejudo line. Do you believe the best active UFC ref, Heartbeat Herb, has always annoyed me recently? Jason Herzog. I feel like those rematch with Max may have hurt Volk's legacy a bit. I don't know. I think it's improved. I mean, you go out there and demolish Max Holloway like he did in the trilogy. I feel like those Lawrence Krause, Fair True. I don't know. Since Usman is getting surgery, that's false. That's fake. That is not real. Nope. 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 It is not real. Not happening. Usman will be fighting. I'm pretty sure. What was UFC 183? Huh. 183. Was that? It was either Anderson Silva versus Nick Diaz or John Jones versus DC, but I think it was Anderson Silva, Nick Diaz. And it was in late January of 2015 or 2016, I think. Something along those lines. I think it was 2015. Late January 2015 it was Anderson Silva versus Nick Diaz. Volk's legacy is set in stone. Nobody expects him to win against Islam. I don't know. There might be some of them. Guys, do me a favor. If you have not liked the stream yet, like the stream. If you are not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. It feels like Volk still hasn't beat anyone elite outside of Max. I mean, beat Brian Ortega. Korean Zombie doesn't mean shit. I know what you mean. Thoughts on Conor Cowboy fight when it was booked? I thought it was a garbage main event. Frank J, thank you for becoming a member. Welcome to the YouTube membership. I appreciate you. You get loyalty badges next to your name. You get custom emojis to use in the chat and comments. You get access to extra live streams. You get you get to join the members only Discord. You get a bunch of behind the scenes stuff. Thank you for your support. If anybody else wants to become a member, it is $3 a month. The link is in the description. Thank you, Frank. Long-time watcher. Long-time supporter. I appreciate you, my friend. I want to get to 100 members, guys. We need to get to 100 members. 100 consistent members. It's always fluctuating. 5 people join, 3 people don't unjoin. I want to get to 100 members. That's my goal in 2023 as well. Wow, all of a sudden Dana loves Nate. He's just full of shit. Wow, January 31st, 2015. Yep, I'm pretty good at calling those. I can remember them pretty well. I know it's really far away, but I'm predicting UFC wants to do UFC Africa on UFC 300. I doubt it. I don't think it'll be. I think UFC 300 will be in Las Vegas in a big, huge, like 3 title fight event. My eyes itching. Hope Jan can get the title again. I think he will. And Anderson Silva, Nick Diaz. Thanks again, Frank. What about UFC 78? No idea. Wasn't watching then, so I don't know. Any early predictions for John Jones, Francis? Yes, I'm going John Jones. I think he's just so well-rounded, he'll find a way to get it done. He always rises to the occasion, in my opinion. So I'm going John Jones. Ciryl Gane, Curtis Blades. I'm going Curtis Blades by grapple. And then Stipe Miocic by himself. I guess he wins then. What's Movsar Evloev's potential? I think he's a future champion. UFC 178 easy. Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson versus Chris Kariasu. Donald Cowboy Cerrone versus Eddie Alvarez. Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier 1. Amanda Nunes versus Kat Zingano. Dominic Cruz versus what was his name? Dominic Cruz versus some Asian guy. I can't remember his name though. I think it starts with a T. Dominic Cruz was the last prelim. I can't remember who it was. Somebody fill me in the chat. It's right on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it. But Movsar Evloev's potential future contender. Right on. Appreciate your hard work. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate you. What do you think of O'Malley waiting for the winner of Aljo Henry? You think he should fight Cheeto? Yes. I think he needs to win another fight to get a title shot. You can't get a title shot off a robbery win over Petr Yan. You think until all insider stories will ever come to light next years or decades? I think eventually something will come out. Is Colby versus Chimaev happening? I hope so, but I have my doubts. What's the status on Patty's foot? Did he injured? I have no idea. Breaking Yanez versus Munoz in works for March 25th. I'm going to take your word for it, Steve. That is a great fight. Takeo Mitsugaki, thank you. It was on the tip of my tongue. I knew it started with a T, but I couldn't think of what it was. Where does Patricio Pitbull rank among greatest featherweights? I think he's up there. That's easy only because Conor was on it. Does Pavlovich KO Gane? Maybe. Nah, I'd probably go Gane in that one. I remember that pay-per-view like it was yesterday. Where's Rob Font been? Taking some time off. Do we know if Usman's actually injured? No, it's fake news. Sometimes when there's smoke, there's fire. But as of right now, it's completely fake news. Not one legitimate site is sourcing that. But I will say this. I do find it awfully suspicious they announced the London pay-per-view without announcing the main event. I do find that weird. I do find that a little bit suspicious. Is Ariel Helwani good for the UFC? I think so. I mean, he covers the sport. A lot of people pay attention to it. James Krause fought Masvidal on 178. Really? I find that hard to believe. How crazy a dude ended his entire life. Yep, he did. 178 was solid. Yo Romero, Tim Kennedy. I forgot about that one. Takeo Mitsugaki. That was a solid card. Dude, James Krause ruined his whole life for a couple bucks. Embarrassing. How shit was Conor Cowboy Card 2? I lost 5 years off my life. Dude, it was so bad. It was so bad. Wonder Boy versus Masvidal 2. No. Or rather, should I say, is he good for us? Yeah, I guess so. He does good interviews. Ariel was saying Diaz should get a title shot after a win. I don't know about that. Yeah, no. What would you like for Edwards' first defense if no Usman? It's either Usman or Khamzat, in my opinion. UFC 122, I wasn't watching like hardcore at that point, so I don't remember UFC 122. I don't even remember. I can't remember any of those early ones. I really became a hardcore fan like at like 130-ish. Really, I became a hardcore fan at like 117, 118. But I don't remember. I still skipped ones here and there, so I have no idea what 122 is. UFC 122. Let me see if I even ordered that one. Yeah, Nate Marquardt, Yushin Okami. I didn't order that bullshit. That was a terrible card. I skipped that one. I ordered 123, I think. 124 I watched. What was 120? 120 I did not watch. 121 I ordered. 119 I ordered. 118 I ordered. 117 is when I became a hardcore fan. But I still pick and chose some. I started watching at 114. So that's pretty crazy. Good. 122 is dog shit. Yeah, I never watched that. What was your first UFC fight you watched? UFC 114 was the first live event that I tuned into. Like, does Ariel dip his toes in places other reporters wouldn't dare? I mean, I guess so. Especially the ones that go to the UFC events. Bilal should get a title shot, honestly, if no Khamzat or Usman or maybe Colby. No, Colby doesn't deserve a title shot for sitting out forever. Does James Krause go to federal fucking prison? I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a hard time proving intent on that one. They might have him dead to rights, though. Do you think O'Malley's scared to fight Aljo? I think he wants some time put in between there. I think he wants like 6 months to a year to prepare for it. Do you think Krause will ever go back to gambling? Because obviously he won't be coaching him. What's stopping him from going all in on the gambling? I don't know if he's going to be able to, honestly. There might be like sanctions against him from even placing bets. Nobody's going to want to take money from him. Do you think, okay, I had a dream last night. Nate was the welterweight champion. Nick, that's embarrassing. Cejudo or Sterling? Cejudo all day. That's a long ass time ago. That is. You strike me as someone who went through a WWE phase. Not necessarily. I watched like WWF from like maybe like 1998 to like 2001. That was me. It was mainly WWF. I saw him change to WWE, but I didn't watch. UFC 144, easy. Benson Henderson, Frank Yeager. 162, an event I'll never forget. I'm disgusted. Anderson Silva gets KO'd by Chris Weidman. What's the most overrated UFC pay-per-view in your opinion? It's hard to remember all of them. 200 was garbage, I'll tell you that much. 200 was garbage. Patty's a trash can. I agree. 147 was Vanderlei versus Rich Franklin, I think. And 147 was originally supposed to be Anderson Silva, Chael Sonnen, but it got moved to 148. I was legit heartbroken when I found out WWE was fake. Have you seen that picture? I've sent it in the Discord before. It's like some guy looking out over the beach, and it's like when I found out WWE wasn't real. Ariel didn't leave his house for 3 years during COVID. Still doesn't go to main events. He's not a journalist anymore. He's a talk show host. Okay. I mean, he still talks to fighters and asks questions. So, I think he's still a journalist. I mean, he's getting the best interviews. He's asking the best questions. I mean, it doesn't matter if he does it in person or he does it from his studio, If you want to call it a talk show, that's fine. It is a talk show. But he's still doing interviews, Have you seen Dana White guilt show up on his face every time he says federal prison in the Okamoto interview? No, I did not. I did not notice that. I wasn't paying super close attention. I wasn't really watching the interview. I listened to it, though. They hyped 200 so much, yeah, and then John Jones pulled out. It was disturbing. The UFC does all kinds of shit under the table now, making a big deal about gambling. Yeah. And I'm telling you, these judges, Dana White and the UFC knows a lot more about these judges than they let on. I was watching some shit on the Anik and Florian podcast today, which I normally don't watch that shit. Ray Longo was saying some things, and you could tell John Anik was trying to steer the conversation away from it. He was like, some of those judges are hanging out at the gyms and this and that, and hanging out with fighters and this and that. And Anik was like, yeah, we can't talk about that. That's a serious charge. Not that you're making that charge, but that's a serious charge. Basically, Longo was saying there is corruption in judging. It would not shock me if some of these judges are outright manipulating scores based on fighters they want to win, based on personal relationships. So I really think there's a deeper problem with some of this judging, with some of these referees. Is there a timeline where Brock Lesnar comes back for 300? No. Is Aljo the greatest bantamweight if he beats Cejudo? No. Will Miller make it to 400? No. Maybe retire after 300 and stay retired until 400? No. I feel like UFC genuinely doesn't give a shit about anything with the company if it doesn't affect cash flow. I would say you're probably accurate on that. It's actually really infuriating, to be quite honest. It's very, very, very annoying. Quite frankly, I'm getting sick and tired of it. I mean, it's unreal and super annoying. But UFC doesn't care, I guess. There's just been shit going on with the judges. There's shit's going on with the refs for literal years. And the UFC doesn't try to do anything about it. They don't care. I bet you if O'Malley got robbed and then, Patty got robbed, maybe there would be there'd be some urgency there. But they don't care. Bumlet versus Ngannou. Would you like to watch it? No. These judges are worse than the Montreal Screwjob. Okay. You ever see Chael Sonnen Hole in the story? It's about Doug Crosby doing some messed up stuff. I have not seen that, but I've heard of it before. I like Ariel just because he's the only one that will press Dana in the UFC for obviously shenanigans. Yeah. But the reason I don't like Ariel is because he used to be just like everyone else that he shames now. And it's kind of, for me, when I seen your character switch up like that, I don't like you. Even though I appreciate what he's doing, it still actually irks me. In a way. In a way. I'm thirsty, guys. I'm thirsty. Okay, guys. Keep throwing questions in the chat. We'll go for a bit longer. How long should we stream tonight? I don't know. My throat actually still hurts from everything I've done over the past week. Pause. Yeah. You guys have been hurting my throat. My throat's sore because of you guys abusing it. But, you know, all the prediction videos last week, the pre-fight stream, the Bellator stream, the UFC stream, the UFC post-fight stream, all the streams I've done since then, all the videos I've done since then, I'm like losing my voice genuinely. Every day it feels a bit better, but then I come back and do this again. Like I can feel it in my throat. You guys are abusing my throat. So, pause. Yes, I'm saying that particularly funny. To be funny. Okay, where were we at? Keep throwing questions in the chat. We're going for a bit longer. I don't know how long, though. You guys got 2 streams out of me today. By the way, guys, we are at 6,420 subscribers. That's crazy. Where were we at the first of the year? Let's see where we were at the first of the year. On January 1st, we were at 1,898. So, 112. No, 102 plus 4,000. 1,000. No, 4,000. We've gained a crap ton of subs, is basically what I'm saying here. We've gained essentially 4,500 subs in 2022. I can't believe we're almost to 7,000. That is wild. But I thought judging was managed by the state, not the UFC. But yeah, they can still do stuff. They can say, look, you guys gotta put better safeguards in place, otherwise we're not coming there. Even with 5 judges, Patty would have still won. That's egregious. I do understand why Dana tells the fighters don't leave it to judge. Yeah, but that's just a cop-out. That's just a cop-out. I like Ariel and MMA Fighting SBN journalist, okay? Joey, how do we completely remove judges and let the fight go on however long it takes to the ref to stop it? Sign me up. The refs, not so much. Why did you score the win? Who did you score the win for Home versus Vieira? I can't remember. You have to go back and watch my post fight. I don't remember. John Morgan versus Ariel Helwani in a fight. Who wins? I have no idea. The UFC needs open scoring. Open scoring doesn't fix judging. No. The F. Joey Pauls. What's the biggest fight the UFC can make that does not involve Conor or John Jones? Hamzat versus Kamaru Usman if he wins his belt back. Joey, do you play or Hamzat versus Alex Pereira or Izzy? Joey, do you play video games? Yes, but I haven't played much since I started my YouTube channel. Haven't had enough time. Joey pimping out his throat. Exactly. Yeah, you guys need to send super chats if you want to use my throat like that. Pause. Hopefully you have 7,000 by the end of the year. I think we will. Or very, very close. 7K by the end of the year still in reach. That it is, but there's not a lot of going on. So we'll see what happens. We might meet a little lull in the action. Do you plan on going to any events in 2023? Maybe. At 10K, are we getting a 10? No, I can't even sit in this chair for 10 hours. Is there any reason Conor was removed from the 55 rankings today? He should have been removed 10 years ago. He hasn't had a lightweight win since 2016. French Fries was swimming around his dad's nutsack last time Conor had a lightweight win. Being dead serious. I mean, why was he still in the lightweight rankings when he hasn't won a lightweight fight in ages? Izzy versus Andre Muniz, who would win? Izzy would win. Izzy would starch him badly on the feet. Hill versus Usman? Jamal Hill or Angela Hill? I need to know who. Who? Let's see. What's going on? I'm so glad Conor's out of the rankings, though. He never deserved to be there. Ilya's sitting up at number 9 now. He moved up 5 spots. Do you plan on going to any events? Maybe. Is there? We already read that. We already read that. So were we caught up on everything? We caught up on. You guys let me catch up on everything. What the hell? This is gonna turn into a sleep stream pretty soon. It's it's already past midnight. Damn, that's wild. That is straight up wild. This Saturday, the last fight card for a whole entire month. That's wild. It's just interesting they removed him from the rankings if he's going to be fighting Chandler soon. No, Weasel is way back in there. I agree he shouldn't have been there. Yeah, why is Tony still in the rankings? He doesn't even fight lightweight anymore. No idea. The rankings are a sham. I've been saying that since I had a YouTube channel. I'd probably take Angela Hill over Usman. Her striking. Yeah, I think Angela Hill would beat Usman, but I think she would lose a robbery split decision. Turner versus Arman. Who would win? Arman. But it'd be interesting. Ilya versus Arnold is interesting, and Arnold is so big for the division. I'd like to see it. Sign me up. Jamal Hill versus Kamaru Usman at 205. No. I'll probably go to the San Antonio event if it's a good main event. I hope it is. I mean, nothing's ever going to top that card you went to last year, or this year, I guess. Who remembers at the end of last year, I was all talking about the 3-week break and how it was going to take forever, and now it's the next year. This YouTube channel has literally made my life go by 10 times fast. I can't believe it. I can't believe how fast. I'm literally going to die soon because time has been just flying by. Because I don't, it's just crazy. Whenever I have nothing to do, I'm on here making videos or shit like that. Chandler will fight him at welterweight. We'll see. Who else is fighting this weekend? I know Jarrett Armin Sarukian versus Damir Ismagulov. It's a bunch of great fights. Said Nurmagomedov. That's a great card. You should watch the entire card. Glover versus Yuri, fight of the year. Yes. I've been saying the rankings are a joke. Yeah, I've been saying that since before I had a YouTube channel, to be honest. How would Turner versus McKinney go? It'd be interesting. That'd be interesting for sure. I think McKinney could win, but he'd probably gas and lose. I want to see Brendan Allen versus the guy that beat Bryce Mitchell. Brandon Allen? You mean Arnold Allen versus Topuria? Okay. Other than Till, who's the most overrated middleweight fighter? Dricus du Plessis. If you're right that Patty's not actually draw, don't you think the UFC will just throw him to the wolves in his next fight? No, they're hoping to still build him into a draw. I think. So you think the first half of 2023 we might see Jon Jones and Conor fight? No, Conor will not fight till the summer at the minimum. I think Conor probably won't fight till summer or the end of next year. Arnold Allen get a little too much hype off beating depleted Hooker and a kneeless Calvin Kattar. That is true. That is true. Imagine a guy named Patty's the future UFC. He's not. He's not. Volk versus Islam is the biggest fight. No. I'm just praying for a high-level main event, no heavyweights or women's fighters. But what if they did Sergey Pavlovich, Cyril Gane? Would you be all right with that as the main event? I would. You got Bellator versus Rising card on New Year's, which will make the break easier. Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Thank you for the 99 cents, Fatso. I appreciate you. Thank you for the 99 cents. I don't know who the UFC could give him next. Cowboy's retired now. Dude, even Cowboy would probably whoop his ass. I mean, remember when Alexander Hernandez was talking mad shit? And he got starched by Cowboy? Patty would probably get starched by Cowboy too. Yes, Sergey versus Gane would be good. Agreed. Yeah, I think that'd be a highly anticipated matchup. Yeah, not Derek Lewis. Oh, God. They'd probably give you Derek Lewis Jairzinho if Lewis wins his next fight. Or hell, they might just book that off the jump. Lewis versus Sergey. Rebook it. Sergey Spivak, not Sergey Pavlovich. Did UFC 2 have any women's fights? Maybe that's why it was so good. I don't remember. I don't think so. Patty's not the future of the UFC. Lamau, any top 30 destroys him. Agreed. Patty versus Gordon too? Nah. I think that almost makes a lot of sense. With all the controversy surrounding it, why not book it again? I mean, it's possible that Patty could win. He can make it another. He might get another. He might get another robbery win. To be honest, so why not rebook it? I think. Paddy versus Gall. I think Gall smokes him. I think Gall would smoke him badly. Let me X out of that. Don't need that open. Don't need that open. Okay, we got everything open. Okay. Okay, read that. Paddy versus Gall. I think Gall beats him. I already said that. They stick Lewis and Spivak at the main event. I'm definitely riding. I'd be pissed if I were you. Ban women's MMA. Okay. Do you think Francis stays with the UFC? Yes. At least for another 2 fights. Do you think Francis stays? Okay, read that. I want to see Paddy at gold. Alex says there's a video from Cage Warriors. Have not seen it myself either. Have not seen it myself. Paddy can only win against CM Punk. Wouldn't surprise me if that was the only win he can get. Let's see. MMA. I'm trying to see, is any MMA channel live right now? I don't think there is. Ew, not that one. Yeah, there's no. I was gonna say, is there any MMA YouTube channel I could send you all guys to? But there's not. There's not. It doesn't look like it. Yeah, not one that I'd be willing to. I've ever even remotely seen. Okay, where are we at? What do you think the UFC? What do you think is the best promotion other than the UFC? I don't know, maybe one, but I don't even know if that's the case. UFC won't rebook that fight because they were lucky to get away with it the first time. Probably. Why was Cody training with Hamzat? No idea. I don't know. Maybe they think he can pull the Darren Till and get worse. Sugar would make Paddy look like Paiva. Okay, they'll match Paddy up with another smaller opponent probably. I'd love to see Michael Johnson. That'd be hilarious. They'll match Paddy up with another smaller opponent. Okay, read that. Emmett versus Yair shows how badly 145 needs contenders. Yair one fight from injury and Cater beat Emmett. Yeah, it's kind of a shitty situation. Legalized cage grabbing and high pokes. Okay. Thoughts on Sergey Morozov? I think he'll be a future in the UFC. I think he's an alright fighter. I don't think he'll ever be like top. 2022 has been a horrible year in MMA. It hasn't been great. Uncle Weezy's live. Who the hell is that? I don't even know who that is. On DC and RC, DC said Paddy has to fight a ranked opponent next. Good luck with that one. Could Paddy beat anyone from the top 15? No. No, he couldn't. Not even in the featherweight division. Wait, we can rate. No. No, I'm not sending them anyone over there. I'm not giving them any attention. Their garbage channel. I'm trying to send people over to them watch and commit suicide for watching that garbage. I mean, who's even watching that? I mean, how many people are even watching? That's what I need to know. Let's see. Let's search UFC. I was hoping there was someone like I faintly heard of before it was live. Yeah, I don't see anyone really. I don't see anyone. I gotta start doing that, looking for someone who I maybe mildly know of and send them. What is this? Yeah, I never heard of this before. Yeah, I've never seen this guy before. X out of that. Oh well, not doing it. They're live. 145 has plenty of contenders. Lamau, Ilya, Allen, Mavsar, winner of the year. That is very true. I don't even know what I responded to this, but I wasn't even thinking straight. So, yeah, 145 is stacked. I thought he was saying just like Emmett and Yair. Like, no one has really proved themselves. What I was thinking of while I was thinking of something else. Nobody has really proved themselves at 145 one way or another. Emmett, 2 robbery wins. Yair, win over an injury. Arnold Allen, win over an injury. Max Holloway on a lost to the champion 3 times. So nobody has really separated themselves from the pack, is what I was thinking. But I don't know exactly what I said. Thoughts on the new matchup for Garbrandt? I would have preferred Ronnie Yaya. 150 people, Lamau. Yeah, for 60K subs, that's actually really bad. That's really, really bad. Chelpy, Son and Goat, no. Brandon says clown. Mario's laughing. I kind of feel bad for Darren Till. He's garbage. Patty, Big Brother, Molly, any chance for a title fight in the future? No. 80 subs, 150 viewers, live, they def buying subs. Probably. Embarrassment. I mean, if I had 60 or what, how many did you say? 80K subs? Jeez, let me take a look at this. Let me take a look. I don't even want to say that out loud. Jeez Louise. 71,000 subs, 145 watching. Ooh, that's tough. Tough crowd. I can't believe 141 is watching. I'm 145 is watching. That's straight up embarrassing. Let's see. Yeah, I figured. I mean, it's 12 a.m. Who's going to be live at this point in time? I forgot it was that late, honestly. But one day we'll do it to someone who's like a decent person. Send them some subs over. Send them some new viewers. Guys, do me a favor, like this stream. Do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. Do me a favor, throw some questions in the chat. We'll go for a little bit longer. Remember when you said Conor McGregor after breaking his leg could still beat Patty? That shit was funny, not gonna lie. I forget. You guys don't realize when I record these videos, as soon as I end the record, I forget everything I said, and I just edit the video and throw some pictures in there. I rewatch it, throw some pictures in there, and then I throw it out onto YouTube. So I actually forget. Mad people were commenting on that video and like, this video funny, and I'm like, have no idea what they're talking about, and I forgot about that until you just mentioned it. And I even said, I remember I'm saying like, yes, I'm saying Conor would beat him with a snapped leg. Something along those lines. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Crazy to think Till was almost champion. That is true. Gordon was robbed, but his performance wasn't that great. I feel like people are making the case Jarrett looked phenomenal while Patty looked mid. In reality, Gordon looked okay and Patty looked like dog shit. Buying subscribers is the equivalent to taking steroids for an athlete. I don't even think it's that. Buying subscribers is even stupider because it does nothing. There's no positive benefits. The only benefit you get from buying subscribers is basically your channel looks good, I guess. You know. Strickland said he's a prostitute for the UFC. Okay. Who's next for Conor? Hopefully Michael Chandler. Hill, Glover, who wins? 50-50. Hill probably KOs him, maybe. What's up, Joey? What's up, Biscuit Farm? Thank you for becoming a member. Habib versus Volk if he beats Islam. Sign me up. Is Blanchfield legit? Yes. But Molly is also a garbage can. They got 71K and only 140 live watchers. That's an embarrassment. I mean, think about it. When I have 20K, we'll be topping that for sure. I mean, we get about, I would say we get 60 to 100 on average, 100 being the high end. And for 6K, I'm happy with that. You know? Alex, the overgrown Hobbit, will return to 45. Probably. We have lots interesting coming up at 145, but they're all a win or two away. It's basically Holloway Volk since 2019. Makes sense. You got to start raiding people after the weekly live chat. Maybe. We will, probably. Here and there, maybe. Do you see Blanchfield as a potential champ in the future? Maybe. I see her as a future contender. Let me put it that way. I don't know about a future champ, but a future contender. Mexican martial arts, real good channel. I've heard of him, but I've never watched it. I've never looked up him. I don't even know what he looks like or his channel is. What the F is his content? Who are we talking about? Buying subscribers is like paying for an interview for sure. Hill beats Glover, but losing his first defense. We'll see. We'll see. Hill, not going to lie, I like Mexican martial arts. Can't take seriously, but he's funny. Okay. Sean Strickland is hilarious. Yep. Hey, Joey, what's up? What's up, Big Rocker? Who do you think gets a win first, Cody Garbrandt or Conor McGregor? I'll say Cody Garbrandt just for wishful thinking. Dana will probably have Patty be a tough coach next season, maybe. Islam versus Colby at 55. Who you got? Islam. Colby cannot probably have trouble cutting to that weight. Favorite hard drug of choice, crystal meth. Crystal meth. Um, um, okay. That was, you didn't need to do that, man. You didn't need to do that. It's fine. That's fine. That's more than fine. Asking about hard drugs. I don't care. Which fight would have been better for Cody, Ronnie Yaya, or Arce? Arce. What's next for your boy Action Man? I want to see him fight Dracus du Plessis. MMA Guru 1 and Mexican MMA's 2. Okay. Which fight would have been better for Cody? Okay, read that. Read that. Remember when people said Johnny Walker was the next champ? Yes, that's an embarrassment. That's a straight up embarrassment. I was actually high on him when he first debuted, though. A lot of UFC divisions are kind of in limbo. The UFC needs to give more chances on different fighters. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Is that actually you in Guru's Live donating to him? I've never been in Guru's Live. I've never donated to him. So the answer is no. There's from what I hear and what I've seen here and there, people send me stuff here and there. There's some imposters. There's some LARPers that like to get my name out there for me, I guess. It's kind of weird, but I mean, it is what it is. I guess they're helping the channel. What's the worst robbery, O'Malley, Jan, or Patty? Patty, but just slightly, though. You think they're going to take it slow for Raul? I think it's going to be like a mix. A mix. Patty said thousands of people will leave after his fight and not stay for the main event. Who does he think he is? I don't know. I guess he thinks he's more popular than he is. Dana White's favorite drug of choice, probably coke. Do you watch much boxing? No, I do not. Have you ever thought about doing a video on the top 5 worst robberies? No, I have not. They're just big MMA Joey fans. Okay. How will Muhammad Usman go at heavyweight? I mean, heavyweight's a garbage division, so he'll probably crack the top 15, but not go much further than that. He'll never be able to compete with like the Cyril Gans, Curtis Blades, Francis Ngannou's. Cold take, a fighter should only be given a super fight after cleaning out their division. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. What's your favorite fight this year? Probably Yuri Glover won. Well, consider there was never a 2. I mean, obviously just Yuri Glover. Do you have any idea who Raul was fighting next? Who would you like to see him against? I don't know. MMA World Rankings doesn't work anymore. MMA World Rankings. And I don't know where else to go. Bantamweight. It stopped working. That was a good website. And now it's just not working. Something's wrong with the website. So I don't know what to do. I don't know where to look. Raul Rosas Jr. Who does he fight next? I will say maybe they give him Ronnie Yaya. I could see they giving him Ronnie Yaya. Or if they really want to throw him in the deep end quick, maybe, just maybe, give him Cody Stamann if Stamann wins his fight at UFC 283. I could see something along those lines. So maybe I'll be right. Maybe I'll be wrong. I kind of feel like middleweight is getting interesting now. A few contenders coming through, even if Izzy wins his rematch. Yep. Did you say Jan versus O'Malley was the worst robbery of the year? It was. I mean, not ever. I never said worst robbery ever, but one of them. Do you think we have ever seen Dana completely sober? I have no idea. UFC versus Rico Charges. Who wins? UFC. But I have no idea. I have no clue. Top one. Yeah, this is what I was looking at. But is this UFC only? I don't even know how you find this. This is UFC only, it looks like. No, it's not. It's not UFC only. I could see him throwing him like a Casey Kenny, Cody Stamann, if they really want to jump him up. If they don't want to jump him up fast, they probably give him like a... maybe like a Ronnie Yaya. I think Ronnie Yaya is the fight. I think he whooped Ronnie Yaya bad. So... Hamzat versus Burns was my number 1. That was a great fight. Jones versus Francis, and how else would you make the heavyweight division? I went through this, but I'll go through it again. I would make Francis Jones, Sergey Pavlovich versus Cyril Gahn. I would make Curtis Blades. I don't know. I'm lost now. Francis Jones, Cyril Gahn versus Sergey Pavlovich, Stipe Miocic, Curtis Blades, Tai Tuivasa, Tom Aspinall, Derek Lewis, Jairzinho Rosenstrike, Alexander Volkov versus Sergey Spivak. Boom. Done. Done, done, done. Flyweight is the worst divisions, hands down. I don't know about all that. I think heavyweight division is worse. Patty talks like he's Conor on the come up, but the difference was Conor could actually fight. Agreed. Agreed. MMA World Ranking works on my phone, but it's not on my computer now for some reason. Yeah, something's wrong with the website. Zhang versus Valentina will go off only if Bullet keeps it standing. I don't think they're going to make that happen. I think Gamrot versus Sarukian was one of the most underrated fights of the year. That fight was nuts. I know. I just recently watched it. Yesterday, actually. I watched it yesterday. It was a great fight. Lots of crazy scrambles. Lots of action. Really enjoyed that fight. Hamzat versus Burns. Chandler versus Poirier 2 and 3 for fight of the year. Okay. Do you think if Sergey Pavlovich beats 2 more top heavyweight contenders, I think he's ready for a title shot now, to be honest. I think he'd be interesting and competitive in a title shot right now. I think there's people that would pick Pavlovich over Ngannou right now. What do you think about John Jones versus Reyes when you first watched it? I thought it was razor close. Where would you rank Corey versus TJ? Wasn't all that great of a fight. It was decent, but it wouldn't be on the top 10, I don't think. I let Rosas climb slowly, no need to rush. Fair enough. What's next for Dominic Cruz? I want to see him versus Corey Sandhagen, honestly. Hamzat versus Habib at Walter. Hamzat. Raul said he can finish Aljo right now. Love to see it. Sign me up. What's next for Thug Rose? And am I the only one that thinks her relationship with her trainer is creepy AF? Yes. No, you're not the only one that thinks that. A lot of people do. Is Stipe ever fighting again? I don't think he is, honestly. Give him Cody Garbrandt. Cody already has the fight. Everyone wants to try to be Conor now, but he is hurting a lot of it's hurting a lot of their careers. Yeah, I don't get it. Some people want to just put on the Conor persona and thinks it's makes him cool, I guess. How is flyweight the worst division you're high, my friend? I didn't say that. Somebody else said that. So take it up with them. I don't think it is. If Patty and Raul were in the same division, I think Raul dominates Patty. Agreed. Why did Dana say Yannick Live was boring? I didn't see anything boring about this fight. Agreed. I don't know. Dana's an idiot. Rosas versus Sterling 287. Sign me up. Dominic Cruz versus Chris Gutierrez. Geez, what are you making Gutierrez like the old man legend killer at this point? Is that what you want to do? I'd rather see Raul versus Aljo than Sean versus Aljo. I'm with you on that. I'm with you. I'm 100% with you, actually. Do you think when it's all said and done, Islam will have more championship defenses than Habib? Yes. Best MMA channel on YouTube, excluding yours? I would never say mine. I'm not that fool of myself. But I don't know, really. I don't watch enough of them. I'll say... what's that guy's name? I can't think of his name. I'm trying to think without searching it. He does documentaries. Like MMA documentaries. Who is he? Mixed Molly Wappery. I'll say Mixed Molly Wappery. He's the one I will tune in for. Do you have a least favorite fighter? Mine's Gaethje. Off the top of my head, I can't think of all the ones I hate. I wish I could make more about fighters. Dane is such a narcissist. Agreed. Bro, those leg kicks from Jan were crazy. Yeah. Islam versus Habib. Who wins then against Hamzat? Habib wins and then Hamzat beats whoever wins. Who wins between Chris Cyborg and Paddy Pimblett? Chris Cyborg. Who's best, MMA Guru or Jesse on Fire? Damn sure not Jesse on Fire. I've seen a little bit. Not my cup of tea at all. So I would never, ever watch that. Ever. Pereira to beat Izzy again and Casa to beat Rob, and then we get a banger of a title fight. Yeah, sure, sign me up. I mean, that sounds like a good idea, but I don't think that's going to happen. Patrick something who does documentaries. Okay, I was talking about Mixed Molly Whopper. I figured it out in my head. He's got good documentaries, MMA documentaries. How do you think Hill will handle the pressure of being of the savage Brazil? I don't think he'll care. I don't think he care. It's creepy. Who actually watches? No idea. People I don't know that are crazy. Who can Raul Rosas Jr. beat in the top 15? I don't know. It's too early to tell. Too early to tell. Is James Krause arrested before the end of the year? No. I do not believe he will be. I'm still shook that we almost have the same amount of live viewers as a channel with 171,000 subscribers. Like, I'm shook. We were like 40 under them. And they got more than like 7 times the amount of subscribers we have. They basically have 10 times. 10 times the amount of subscribers we have. And they have 40 more live viewers than us. That's craziness. I'm glad someone filled me in on that. It makes me feel good about the channel. Will Glover versus Hill be the main event? Yes. If you could cut one fighter from the UFC, who would it be? Paddy Pimblett. He's garbage. Do you watch Anatomy of the Fighter? I have in the way past, but I haven't anytime recently. What do you think about John Jones being an underdog versus Francis? I think it kind of makes sense. He's been out for a long time. Now, what's crazy is that I would take Chris Cyborg to KO Paddy. Me too. I didn't expect the Jan fight would be that close. I thought the Russian dude would have dominated him. Fair enough. I didn't. If Aljo wins against Henry, we got to give him more respect. That is true. That is true. We do. But until then, I'll hold off. Guys, by the way, if you don't follow me on Twitter and Instagram, I did not mean to open that. If you do not follow me on Twitter and Instagram, I'm always putting out a bunch of stuff on Twitter, all the latest news. You can trust me to be reposting reliable sources. Go follow me at MMA Joey C. One of my goals for 2023 is to get 1,000 followers on Twitter. I'm always trying to tweet about the latest news, and I tweet out when I do live streams. I tweet out during the fights. I retweet like interesting videos that I see. So it's worth it. It's worth it. I'm trying to be active on there. Sucks. First time I've ever unsubscribed for a channel based on a video they posted defending Pat Barry. Okay. Who would you pick right now in Bo Nickel versus Izzy? I would take Izzy all day. Bo Nichols just beat up grocery store cashiers. How are we trusting him? How are we trusting him at that point? Like, literally, he's beating up grocery store cashiers. Is it actually crazy if Perrin is just a bum, but Raul improved so much from his fight on the Contenders? Yeah, I don't think Perrin's a bum at all. So, he's improved a lot. Perrin's not a bum at all. You got to admit the UFC hype machine works. Lots of questions here about Paddy and Raul. Very true. Aside from Pat Barry's video, has the worst and most shill takes, cringe and embarrassing. Yeah, from what I've seen, and I haven't seen a whole lot since I haven't really looked at it since like last year when people kept telling me look at his Diego Sanchez stuff. A lot of clickbait bullshit. Doesn't know a lot about the sport for sure. Just makes up shit from what I've seen. Imagine how hilarious how everyone made a complete 180 on Paddy. That is true. It is hilarious. He's turned a lot of people off. Conspiracy theory, having 2 Russians right now as world champions would be a good look for UFC and ESPN. Okay. Okay. It wouldn't have been a better fight for Paddy's reputation to lose that decision. Probably. How many more years do you think John Jones, and do you think he's under appropriated? I know he's did steroids and stuff, but he's number 1 on my GOAT list. He's fought nobody but champs for a decade. Yeah, I think he's a GOAT, but the steroids do put the asterisk next to it. How many years? I don't think he'll be around for much longer. I mean, he hasn't fought in 3 years at this point. But I think he'll come back and be around for another 2-3 years. How does Brendan, I think it's a Glocknane, fare in the UFC? I think he does all right, but I'm not too sure. Henry versus Sean. I think Henry wins. Henry would dominate Sean O'Malley. Was Kevin Lee's UFC career a failure? I mean, he fought for a title at one point, so no. I would say no. Jay Perrin tapped, but Rosas wasn't on the chin. Yeah, neither was Dreykus. There's a lot of quick taps at UFC 282. Izzy wrestles. Okay. Well, it'll be interesting to see Paddy's next walkout in the US. I think he would get booed like Hamzat did. I hope so. He deserves to get booed. Did you see Bobby Green saying Islam was on steroids since 10? Yeah, and then he popped for steroids. Embarrassing. Aljo versus Sean. I don't know for this one. Aljo mauls him badly. By the way, guys, let me know, what are your favorite MMA YouTube channels? We were talking about that a little while ago. We were talking about some of the worst ones. Put in the chat right now your favorite MMA YouTube channels and what MMA YouTube channels you think are the worst. I'm always curious what you guys are thinking. What are your favorite MMA YouTube channels? What are your worst? What do you think are the worst MMA YouTube channels? I want to know. I need to know what kind of audience I'm attracting. What kind of audience am I attracting here? Let me know your favorites and least favorites. Would Mike Davis versus MJ be wild? And prediction? I mean, be all right. Be all right. I don't know if it'd be that great. Do you predict Bo Nickal's hype will be real? No. He's fought nothing but grocery store cashiers. Only 5 people think Patty won when his family has 9 members. That is true. Fave, MMA Guru, Weasel's good. The Weasel, me, and Guru. Guru's the best. Worst is Jesse. Worst Jesse. Jesse bad. Block Jesse. How would you feel if your fiance bought you a Patty wig for Christmas? I'd punch her square in the teeth. Everyone's saying Jesse. Yours MMA holes in full mount. Oh God, that's your favorites. I appreciate it, man. Put me on the list. A little bit cringe, but not too bad. A little bit cringe. Weasel's good too. Everyone usually says the Weasel. I have heard that. I have heard that. So, people love the Weasel. Full Mount MMA for entertainment. I think Jones will come back for only 1 year in 2023. If he loses in March, he retires. If he wins, he becomes the light heavyweight champ in March and defends against Ghana or somebody in July or September and retires. We'll see. Jesse old for the haircut, mixing martial arts. Who is the champion of the light heavyweight division next year, end of year? I'll say everything is correct with the world and Yuri gets the belt back. Imagine Yuri never, ever, ever gets the belt back. Wouldn't that be crazy? Okay, Mexican martial arts is best. Worst, Jesse, okay. I got Henry Cejudo. I go Henry Cejudo. Yeah, Henry's going to maul Sean O'Malley if he fights. Dana should bring in Jens Pulver and BJ Penn to fight Patty. Then it's a 50-50 chance. That is true. The Weasel is the smartest. There you go. Big John McCarthy has a fantastic, underrated podcast pertaining to MMA. The way you said that, dude, is awfully suspicious to me, dude. This is Big John McCarthy's burner account. Full Mount is fire. Shout out Pub Sports Radio. They're good. Why has 2 people mentioned them today? I got Pereira at the end of 2023. We'll see. We'll see. Imagine if Izzy never gets the ball back. That'll be crazy. I really don't watch MMA YouTubers though. Me too. I really watch none almost. None. I try to watch a little bit here and there just to compare, like a little bit of competition, you know, see what's going on out there. But I can't watch it. I just got, you know, there's much better things I'd rather be watching on YouTube. Pseudo's like a little dog that thinks he's big. I guess so. We need Adriana Yanez fight announcement. Supposedly he's fighting Pedro Munoz. Autistic but authentic. Okay. No, the Weasel has a clear bias. I stopped watching Chael. Chael's horrible. Chael's horrible. I thought Aljo Triple C was signed. I don't think it's official yet. It's probably going to happen, but it's not official. Oliveira versus Dariush title for #1 contender. That's fine by me. Dariush is kind of already deserving, though. You guys got another full 2 hours out of me, basically. Worst MMA channel, probably Chael. Dude, Chael's god-awful. Chael Sonnen is one of the worst channels I've ever seen. I used to watch him in his early YouTube days. Dude, I swear he's desperate for money. No one will ever convince me that Chael Sonnen isn't desperate for money. He records like 25 videos a day and he just talks in circles. And he doesn't even know anything. And he pretends like he's the smartest guy in the room. Oliveira versus Fiziev, that would be a banger. Agreed that would be a banger. But Fiziev would probably win that one. What is your favorite UFC commentator and worst? I'll say Paul Felder's favorite. Worst is probably Rogan at this point. Nah, it's probably Bisping. Bisping. Felder's favorite. Bisping's worst. I would love to see the MMA hour. I would love the MMA hour, but they want to turn the UFC into WWE. People hate Patty now. That is true. I know you don't like Brendan Shaw, but he's one of my favorites. Do not like Big John and Ariel Helwani. Okay. Alrighty, I'll accept it. Everyone has their own taste, man. I can't knock you for it. Just not my personal preference. But not for me. But everyone has their own opinion. It's crazy how I'm the only MMA channel live right now. If someone's searching for MMA live streams, they're only going to find me. That is very, very interesting. And I'm going to be off here soon. I'm going to stay for a little bit longer, then I'm gone. What is this? What is this garbage? This is so weird. If you sort by live, there's some weird stuff going on YouTube, honestly. How is the guy's profile picture rose? That's rough. I don't know what you're talking about. Is Costa and Rob actually fighting? I don't know. Costa said he hasn't signed a contract. Armin Demir, crazy fight this weekend. Really looking forward to it. I have a prediction on the channel if you haven't watched it. Patty digged himself in this whole... Sonnen was such a good talker in the UFC, but such a bad talker on YouTube. Dude, Chael's awful. I can't believe anyone watches him. Do you think Fiziev has the best chance to dethrone Islam? Yes. Worst MMA analysis is Stephen A. Smith. Yeah, but he doesn't do enough of it, so he doesn't really count. Patty isn't 1/10 of what Conor was. I would agree. Costa says he's going to leave after his next fight. We'll see. We'll see if he does. Get him out of here. Dariush already should have gotten title shot. Fiziev beat RDA, so he needs one more. Okay. I wouldn't mind seeing Fiziev versus Dariush. Costa has the secret juice. Paul Costa's overrated? Yeah. I think he loses to Robert Whittaker. Would you rather see Chandler or Dos Anjos welcome Conor back? Definitely Chandler. Definitely Chandler. Joey, what's Patty's ceiling after Saturday night? I don't know, slightly above CM Punk's. He's a garbage trash can fighter that has an interesting personality and the UFC wants to promote. That's basically it. It's not a high ceiling at all. Okay, it's Rose. Yeah, she had a bad last fight, but before that, she was nothing but exciting for the sport. I never want to see Rose fight again after her last fight. Never, ever, ever do I want to see her fight again. Ray says he likes Morning Combat. Fair enough. I've seen a little bit of them. Not in a while, but maybe like a year ago, I watched some here and there. So, I used to watch Luke Thomas like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Like for like maybe like 2 years before he went on to become the host of the MMA Hour. I watched him. But I haven't watched him much since then. Joe, do you see Strickland Darren Till playing out? I think Strickland bust him up and make him quit. I don't know if Joe Lozon still fights, but that seems like someone Patty could beat. I don't even think he beats him. Dana apparently say Jay Gordon after the fight, this is the best thing that could happen in a loss. Yeah, of course Dana's going to try to... Dana should have gave him his win money. Look up Stephen A. Smith boxing. I'd seen that. It looks terrible. Costa's doing the high school topper study secretly. I bet he's training and just trolling everyone. Has no purchase outside the UFC yet. Petty has one thing going for him. When he talks, he grabs your attention. That dude is trash, unfunny, unannoying. There you go. Heard it straight from Brendan's mouth. Neal versus Shavkat should be the main event instead of a Maivov versus Gastelum. I would agree, but both of them are great fights. Will Young Thug get out of jail? No idea. Why is Jones coming back at lightweight rather than light heavyweight? He's coming back at heavyweight. Have you ever been recognized when you go out somewhere? Dude, I'm literally nobody. There's YouTubers with millions of subscribers that don't get recognized outside of YouTube. There's no way I'm going to get recognized with 6,000 subscribers. So no, I have never been recognized. I don't think I ever will be unless maybe I go to a UFC event. I could see it happening at a UFC event, but in general life, even if I got 1 million subs, I don't think I get recognized out in public. I would need a lot of visibility. I would need like 1 million subs for a while, and maybe then, just maybe. How do you see Khamzat versus Paddy playing out if it happened? Khamzat would absolutely drop Paddy on his head. I think Khamzat could beat Paddy without throwing a single strike. Morning Combat, Luke Thomas, the Weasel, listening to Bisbing talk about random shit. Fair enough. What announced fight are you most excited for in 2023? Well, there isn't a lot of big announced fights yet. So out of announced fights, it's probably got to be Volk and Islam. If YouTube bring YouTube MMA, would you ever be down to check it out? No. Meant to say heavyweight, not lightweight. Yeah, it's just because John Jones has always said he's going to heavyweight. I think Darren Till should give 170 another shot. I think that's his only answer. Paddy versus Guida, good next matchup. I think even Clay Guida beats him. I think Clay Guida would beat Paddy Pimblett. Or Khamzat would beat Paddy with one strike. Dude, Khamzat would absolutely destroy Paddy. I mean, that wouldn't even be a fight. Who would ever want to see that? I kind of would. But it's never, ever, ever, ever going to happen. Would you ever hypothetically work for UFC Media or some other media group covering MMA? I mean, it all depends on circumstances. Maybe, but it would vastly depend based on circumstances of that agreement. But I wouldn't rule anything out. What about Henry Cejudo's channel? I've never seen it. I've seen a little bit of it. I'm lying. I've seen a little bit of it. Morning Combat's really good. Are you going to any UFC events next year? If so, who would you want to see? I would want to see John Jones, Francis Ngannou. So you guys need to start donating the channel so I can make enough to go to Ngannou versus Jones. There are people who thought Nate could go 5 rounds with Khamzat. Yeah, he was going to get destroyed in the first round. It's going to be first round finish. First round ground and pound finish. First round submission. Paddy Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson would decapitate him. There's a lot of people read that. How do you see Till versus Sean Brady play out at 170? Sean Brady would destroy Till. Joe would get kicked out for asking the hard questions. That is true. I get banned from the events. I would get banned from the events if I was allowed to ask questions. You hear about Ilya showing up to the PI and rush Paddy out the back door? I heard Ilya said that, but who knows what version of events is actually true. But it wouldn't surprise me. What would you do if Paddy suddenly got really good in his next fight? I mean, then I'd mention it, that he's improved vastly. Who would you pick in a middleweight matchup, Bo Nickel or Chimaev? Chimaev, for sure. Chimaev would smash Bo Nickel, in my opinion. Will the channel have more fighter interviews in 2023? Yes, it will. I think of it as more of like a guest fighter to come on and talk to him. You know, I don't want it to be like professional, like, oh, I'm doing professional fighter interviews. You know, I want it to be like a guest, kind of have a conversation rather than like this professional interview, even though it is an interview, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But yes, there will be. I just got to, grow the channel, grow the Twitter, grow the Instagram, and start hitting some of these guys up and see what kind of responses I can get back. I've sent some messages here and there, and a lot of them, you don't hear back from. So, I'll have to see. I just hate bothering people. So for me, it's hard for me to do that type of stuff. So what we need to do is get more fighters to watch the channel, and then that way they can hit me up and tell me they want to come on. You think Dana going back and forth, would be legendary? I'd definitely get banned. Because I would follow up with good questions and dissect what he said. Is there any universe where Paddy can defend a hand strike with a head movement? No. Will Bo Nickel get his way and fight on a pay-per-view in his first fight? Yes. Do you ever think True Gordon didn't get his win bonus? They say everyone with a finish got $50K. He didn't get his win bonus, which is half his money. It's not even the $50K bonus. He didn't get a $50K bonus because there wasn't a finish. But whatever his paycheck is, let's say it's $50,000 to show up, $50,000 to win. He only got $50,000 instead of his full pay because he technically lost. It's a numbers game. Joey, keep asking. I know. But it's just not in me to be bothering people like that. I just don't feel comfortable doing it. You should try to get Gordon. I don't think Gordon likes doing interviews, but I'll send him a message to see what happens. I would like to interview him, honestly. What would be a reasonable backup fighter for Usman Edwards 3 in your opinion? Bilal or Khamzat? Only 2 options possible. That's the only two possible options. Let me X out of that. Don't need that anymore. Don't need that anymore. Don't need that anymore. Whenever I do these, I have a million tabs that I get open. Let's see. Let's see if Jarrett Gordon has his messages open. I'll just start messaging random guys all the time. I just don't like doing it. I don't like doing it. 5 hours ago. Oh, it's him posting his gambling. I'll send him a message. I'll send him a message and see what he says. Probably won't even ever read it. Probably getting a million messages right now. There's no point even messaging him, honestly. Would you be willing to interview a Bellator fighter? It depends who it was. It has to be relevant to the discussion. I'm not just interviewing people to interview them, you know? What if KSI wanted to interview him? What would you do? I don't even know who that is. Like, I've vaguely heard of that, but I couldn't pick that person out of the lineup. Someone new to the sport, can you tell us a little bit how scoring works? Like, what is a 10-8? A 10-8 is like a dominant round, you know? I forgot exactly what the scoring criteria defines as a 10-8, but it's like a dominant round where the other fighter basically does nothing. You know? If you look up the score, I'll read you the exact scoring criteria because I don't remember. UFC 10-8. 10-8, when the judge has established one fighter has dominated the action of that round, had duration of dominance also impacted the opponent with either effective strikes, effective grappling maneuvers that diminish the abilities of their opponent. There you go. But it very rarely happens, even with a dominant round. My dream job is picking who fights for the UFC. I low-key make what I think future pay-per-views event should be in UFC 4 video game. That's pretty cool. If Usman could take down Leon that easily, Hamzat will have no problem. Agreed. Can you get a press pass to ask questions? No, I cannot. I won't be able to. I don't work for a website. Would you interview Tony Ferguson if he asked you to? Of course. Would you have Blades? Who would you have in Blades versus Pavlovich? I'd probably take Pavlovich. What is your opinion on Dana White and how he runs the business at the moment? I think he runs it like kind of a dick. And I think a lot of what he says anymore is like, I think he's just burned out. So I'm not a big fan of how the business is currently being ran, if I'm being quite honest. I'm not a big fan whatsoever. Also, to see how much the channels have grown, I found you back in the Fabia days. That's crazy. Found me back in the old Fabia days. And we're almost to 7,000. If you interview Gordon, maybe we'll see Patty roasting you like he did Ariel. I would love that. I would love... There was nothing that would give me more joy than if Patty Pimblett roasted me, so I could roast him right back. Speaking of 10-8, how they scored the first round 10-8 for Chandler versus Oliveira. Did they? I don't know how they would do that. That was back and forth. I mean, I know Michael Chandler almost finished him, but at one point, Oliveira had his back. But I kind of get it. Yo, Joe, you a hustler, bro. Thank you for the streams. Anytime. On your next pay-per-view stream, can you put a mirror? No, I cannot. Nope. Cannot do that. I'm not risking anything on my channel for any extra views that can get my channel shut down. There's channels out there that will give you fight footage, okay? And they risk their channel being shut down. And also, you don't know that the people are actually there to watch you. So I'm never, ever, ever going to go out of my way to do that. So, for me, I want to make sure that people are watching my channels, watching my live streams, because they care what I have to say, not because I got a little bit of fight footage on the screen. Patty versus Tony Ferguson. I think Tony Ferguson beats the shit out of him. To be fair, Oliveira versus Ferguson round 1 was a 10-8. I don't even remember that first round. I think Oliveira dominated it, but I don't remember it too much. Tony Ferguson has fallen off a cliff. It's hard to imagine that Tony Ferguson is straight up falling off a cliff. Ew, Lauren Murphy, Jessica Andrade on the main card. Ew, why do they keep trying to squeeze Lauren Murphy on cards? I don't want to see Lauren Murphy on main cards for real. I mean, it's embarrassing Why are we doing that? Why are we doing that? I don't get it. Why are we having Lauren Murphy on main cards? They try to sneak her on a 276. That didn't work. So now they got to sneak her on 283. Why? 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 Really is annoying, quite honest. Shows fight footage without copyright. Fair enough. But it's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. UFC is very strict with that type of stuff. Hottest female fighter, I'm not sure. Can GSP get to 170? No. Can the armbar last 10 seconds? Yeah, that was nasty. You think Hill beats Glover? I think it's 50-50. Didn't Hamza have a 10-7 round one time? I don't think so, but I don't remember, to be honest. He's had a lot of dominant performances. So, it's hard to remember. Do you prefer 2 wrestlers fighting or 2 kickboxers? I don't care. I like any mixed match of skills. Because she's brave, Joey. Okay. Aljo versus Henry. I got Henry Cejudo all day defeating Aljamain Sterling. I know you said Darren's career would be over if he lost on night, but do you feel differently after the fight? No, I feel more that way. Darren Till looked like dog shit in that fight. He looks like he's regressed. He looked worse than I could have ever imagined. So, to answer your question, I think Darren Till is completely done for. Matthews versus Semmelsberger. I think Matthews does it. I mean, he's improved vastly. He looked so good against Andre Fialho. Striking looked really good. I'm picking Matthews. What are your thoughts on people thinking Islam is a boring fighter? They're stupid and they're delusional and they're just biased. And for some reason, they don't like Islam. Does Glover retire, win, or lose? No. Maybe if he loses, but probably not if he wins. Dana White's hilarious when talking about illegal streamers. She's so clueless, threatening to say, I got another one. Yeah, Dana's been acting like erratic the last 2 years, really. Been acting awfully erratic, and my nose is itching like crazy. So now I'm just itching this has been coming nose itch and stream. Nose itching stream. Does Glover, okay, read that. I got to watch Covington Usman 1 fight again. That was a great fight. What does Alex Smith face next, and what does he have to do to get a title shot? Who are you talking about? Lauren Murphy's legit terrible and has no business on the main card. Thank God we didn't have to watch her versus Miesha Tate on UFC 276. Do you want to see more Bellator fighters transition to the UFC? Sure. Sure. When do you think you'll go live again? Probably not till Saturday. When Conor fell off, Dana went crazy. I guess so. Split draw, everyone loses on betting taking over UFC. I don't know. I'm like, who was Alex Smith? Besides Jarrett Gordon, what was the biggest robbery you can think of? I can't remember. I thought Armin won. I thought Calvin Kattar won. But they weren't really robberies. I don't remember. There's probably one that I can't think of. But the year's been very, very long. But those two were the worst, for sure. And it's awfully funny they just both go in the favor of the popular fighter. I swear if I see Joanne Calderwood on a main guard again, yeah, I'm going to lose it too. Could Patty be present day Askren at catchweight? No. Will Islam ever be the favorite in his next fight? Yes, he probably is. Crazy Dana gave one of the Nelk Boys $250 for their birthday. Such a slap in the face for guys making $12K. I mean, it is what it is. Looks like Islam will be champion for 3 to 4 years and make way more for Usman. I don't know. We'll see. Top 5 favorite fights. I don't know. Yuri Glover, Hamzat versus Gilbert. Sujma Darji versus Matt Schnell was a good one. I can't think of any off the top of my head. I don't know why they always want low-level women's fights on main cards. I don't get it. I don't get it in that case. So, Islam was favored at 280. Yes, he was. All right, guys. We went for over 2 hours at this point. That's going to be it for me. You got 4 hours of me streaming tonight. Make sure to go check out the weekly live chat I did earlier tonight. It's about 1 hour and 45 minutes. Go check that one out as well as this stream. Thank you guys for watching. Like this stream before you go. Subscribe to the channel before you go. We're trying to get 7,000 before the end of the year. We're almost there. And I'm going to get out of here. I will be back Saturday evening. Do I think Lozon and Patty is possible? And who would you have? It's possible. I think Lozon would beat Patty's ass as well. So there you go. All right, guys. I'm getting out of here. Like the stream, like the stream, like the stream. Go watch my prediction videos for UFC Vegas 66. And go watch my live chat from earlier. Why aren't you watching my live chat from earlier? You know, if you enjoyed this, we did this for an hour and 45 minutes earlier, too. So you can watch that as well. Enjoy that. We go in depth on the Paddy Pimblett robbery, all that good stuff. So thank you guys for joining me. And at the bare minimum, I'll see you Saturday. I'll see you Saturday for the fights. I'll live stream the fights on Saturday. So that's it. I'm out of here. It's 1 a.m. I'm going to be tired as hell tomorrow. Good night. Talk to you guys later.